I am a difference maker.
Imagine all the people.
I am a difference maker.
All right, hello, difference makers, wherever you may be today. So it's Leigh, Ivan, and Trevor back on stream here, and we're going to chat briefly about a chat we had the other day with some difference makers that joined us on one of our sessions, and we'd love you to join us on one of our sessions soon as well. And some of the things we picked up on in those particular discussions, and how sometimes people feel isolated, and it's difficult to make a difference when you feel like you're fighting against the world on your own. And I think that's really, where we want to develop this, where we want to take this. We want to bring people into a group, into a movement of like-minded people who are focused on making a difference, focused on helping each other, and focused on rolling this out worldwide. So, Trevor, your thoughts on the discussion from last Wednesday?
Yeah, I love that. And this concept of getting together every Wednesday with different folk who are at different stages of their difference-making journey in their various cities around the world. What struck me in that particular session, Ivan, was quite interesting. It highlighted for me that difference makers are just driven. They're enthusiastic. They really want to get going, and then something hits them. It just knocks them back, the frustration. And then you almost interpret that they go back into their own individual little worlds of a singular individual trying to move the world. I think that's the most difficult thing to do. And the word that came out for me in general from that discussion, from these highly driven people, highly skilled people with great potential to make big things happen in their various communities, was frustration. That they were frustrated that they couldn't get others to actually see what they could see and what we could see. And the interesting thing is, when you're dealing with other difference makers who have this experience over 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, sometimes 60 years, actual life and business experience, people can actually help you through. And in fact, I think I used the phrase there, man, you either go through the barrier, you go over it, or you go around it, or you dig underneath it. But you actually need to be aware of how can someone give you that type of input if they haven't actually experienced the frustration that they are experiencing in whatever it is that they want to do. So I don't know if that stood out for you guys as well. It just really stood out for me. Impactfully, enthusiastic people can get very frustrated if they don't have the right type of people to actually lean on to help them move whatever their projects are forward.
Yeah, I think you're using the word frustrated, and definitely there was, but I also picked up discouragement. And I think that when you feel discouraged, it feels like everything that you've put up, you've done up to this point has now dissipated. There's nothing left, and it's so de-energizing that you can't see the way forward, and as you say, you withdraw. And I think the temptation is to give up, and it is at that point that you do need a community who sees the potential now more than you do, and can give you back that encouragement. And I love that word, encourage, because it's about getting the courage back to say, yes, I can do it. There are still possibilities. Yes, I might not be able to do it the way that I thought I was going to do it, but maybe there's another way. And I think we in difference making, I think we're on a journey of finding not the way. I think there's so many different pathways, and it's about persevering to find the pathway that's going to work at this moment in time for this particular project with this particular group of people.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Yeah, and I think, you know, whether you're a difference maker who is making a massive difference and getting all the wins and successes, or whether you're one of those that we've chatted about now, who's felt that they've run into a brick wall and they don't know where to go, doesn't really matter. What either of those categories of people can do is come into an environment like this and feed off each other. You know, bring the ones who've been frustrated and are locked into a narrow paradigm, help them break that paradigm, change the view, change the perspective, through what you've done with your successes, and maybe your successes can be enhanced and inspired by finding out what's blocked some other people. So whoever you are, if you're a difference maker, wherever you are, we'd love to have you on board. We'd love to chat to you and hear how we can contribute and how you can contribute to making this thing go global. So join us soon. Cheers now.
What the world needs now.
I am a difference maker.
Imagine all the people.
I am a difference maker.